Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today we talk about Workhorse stock, and I'm giving a little bit of an update onto Workhorse stock. This is something you guys requested on the last video for me to just, give you a bit of an update on Workhorse, where I'm at with Workhorse, and my kind of like opinions where I see it going from here. So I'll do that for you guys today. I was actually going to do it anyway, so that you guys want to see it as well is a bonus as well. So we'll get that done. I'm looking at another EV play that I might be buying into. So if I do buy it, I'll let you guys know in a few days' time. If you want to keep up to date straight away, if I do buy it, my Patreon's in the link in the description, and join through there, and you get every update about what I'm doing, like what I'm buying. I also do a weekly exclusive episode on there of some information as well, which is pretty good. But yeah, we'll get back onto Workhorse, and like I say, I'll talk you through like my current thoughts with what's going on with the stock and where I'm at with everything to do with Workhorse. Now, I have got a old video which basically goes through like the in and outs of Workhorse. This is kind of more like say of an update rather than the like breaking it down. So if you want to see a bit more of a broken down version of like Workhorse and what it does, then go check out my last video on Workhorse, which is about 2 months ago now. But for you guys that don't know, I am currently a Workhorse shareholder. My position's currently up something around about 25 to 30%. I'm currently up right now, which is pretty good. And I know some of you guys that even averaged into this company and got your average down to like the $15 range. Some of you guys are up even more than that, so well done for you guys that are on there. But obviously, right now we're not exactly bothered about what stock price gains we're up at the moment, because a lot of us are in this for the United States Parcel Service deal, or even longer term than that. So even though we're up in the short term, a lot of us are in this company for the long term with what potential this stock currently has. So the ticker symbol for this one is WKHS, and it's been a bit choppy. It's had a massive spike up, a lot of hype about it because of the potential explosion this stock could have in the next few years. And since that explosion, it's been kind of chopping around the $20 range, but recently we have seen the stock starting to ramp up quite a bit on the share price front. And like I say, we had a very good day on Friday, which put a lot of us up on our positions. Now, for you guys that don't know the in and outs on Workhorse, basically what it is going to be producing last mile delivery vans. So for that, you're looking at delivery vans where they're kind of going around a short space, a short mileage, and you just need a van basically to pack the explosion of all these e-commerce sites and parcels into it, and basically, drive, 100 yards, stop, 100 yards, stop, and, you don't need, delivery vehicles with, massive ranges, because you're stopping and starting quite a bit. The biggest thing is to try and accommodate a lot of these e-commerce packages, and obviously Workhorse is an EV play, so it's electric last mile delivery van, which is obviously great for the future, more economical as well for the future, and it should do quite well. But the big reason everyone's getting hyped up on Workhorse is that it does offer fantastic growth. If it doesn't even get the United States Parcel Service contract, it probably still do okay. But the big thing is if it does get the United States Parcel Service contract. So for you guys that don't know what the United States Parcel contract is, basically it's going to be a $6 billion contract, and it's going to replace all the current United States parcel vans that are currently out there. Now, a lot of these vans need replacing. Basically, a lot of these should have got replaced 5 years ago, and because they're still using vans that were basically built in like the 80s, there's no airbags in it, there's no air conditioning. It's insane to think people are still working on these sort of vans, and there's quite often now news articles coming out about a lot of these vans actually catching on fire. Could you imagine you've just ordered something off a website, and next thing you know, the van you ordered it in has got set on fire, and you never got your parcel because the van that you had your parcel in got set on fire. Absolutely insane, and these vans are pretty much knackered. They shouldn't be using them. There's a lot of need for these vans to get updated really soon, and as soon as possible. And it should have been the contract should have been handed out now, but because of the CV situation, the contract hasn't been handed out just yet. But Workhorse are in the running to get a part of this contract that could be worth $6 billion. Now, currently Workhorse doesn't have, massive amounts of revenue, but the company's trading at a decent market cap. But the market cap doesn't reflect what a £1 billion contract could do to this company. And the share price will, go up massive. If they get this United States Parcel Service contract, the share price is going to go up massive, because you're going from a company that's going to be, potentially doing millions to $1 billion confirmed revenue, and it's going to be insane for the company if they do get this contract. Now, realistically, there's probably two competitors in this contract. So there's Workhorse and there's Ford. Now Ford are going with a classic combustion engine, which obviously successful at the moment, but realistically for the long term, is it going to be good? And also you got Workhorse, which is the electric play. Now obviously with the electric play, what you're going to have, it's going to be better for the, like you think about United States Parcel Service, once they hand this contract out, they're not going to replace these vans for like another 30 years. So whatever vans they get them now need to be like future thinking. And you think combustion engines, 30 years, really? Should they be doing that? And you think about what will benefit United States Parcel Service, like you think about how much like less maintenance it'll be, the fuel bill in the long term, they'll have to pay less fuel. It benefits them 100% to be going for this electric play. Now I think that obviously when you look at Workhorse, the range on the vehicles is something like 120 miles or something, which isn't huge. So there's going to be some places where the longer kind of trips, like out in like the countrysides and stuff like that, Workhorse vans might not be probably the best vans for that situation. They don't have to give 100% of this contract to Workhorse, and also it takes the demand off Workhorse to produce these vehicles as well. So it makes sense to maybe do 25% to Ford on the combustion engines, which then lets them do these long range travels until EV batteries get better in the long term. And then it's all the kind of inner city kind of things, give them to Workhorse 75% of the deal. So I think potentially that we could be looking at Workhorse getting 75% of this deal, which would be great. Even if you don't get 75%, if you get 50%, it would still be pretty good for the company as well. We would still be talking nearly 4.5 billion in revenue coming in. And when you talk about Workhorse, which the market cap at the moment is something around the the 1 billion range, to then have a big massive contract worth 4.5 billion, this is going to set the stock up absolutely huge. So that'll be absolutely amazing for the company. Now the other thing as well that has basically I think set the stock on this like new higher run was the Hitachi deal, which is going to help them ramp up the production of these vans. And one of the thing that everyone's putting together here is the 1+1=2 situation where Workhorse are up for a contract, they're getting deals which will help them ramp up the production. Do they kind of know they're getting this deal? And I think the CEO actually came out and said how much this was going to ramp up the production. I'm not sure if this is 100% correct, but I think he said something like they can now produce from like 5 vans a day to 50 vans a day, which is obviously massive improvement on what they can do. And if they're doing this, the United States Postal Service contract, they're going to need to ramp up production, and everything kind of signals that it's really lining up. The stars are lining up for Workhorse right now, and everything looks really positive. So overall, I'm still holding my shares in Workhorse, and I believe that we'll get some of this United States Postal contracts. And when it does, obviously you've got a big massive contract, 4.5 billion coming into the company that will do wonderful things to the share price. A few people say it doesn't really matter if they do get it or if they don't get it, but I disagree. That a 4.5 billion contract, which is bigger than your valuation on your company, is huge, and it will send the share price up if they get it. And I think they're probably going to get 75% of the contract, is what I'm kind of thinking. But we'll see what happens, and we'll find out about the United States Postal contracts by the end of this year, so we will know about what's going to happen in the next 3 months. So it is an exciting time. There is some risk there, because obviously if they don't get the contract, obviously it might hurt the share price a little bit. But overall, everything kind of looks like it's lining up for Workhorse, and like I say, I think they should get some of the contracts realistically, shouldn't they? So at the moment, still holding my shares. Not got huge plans of buying right now, but like I say, these are another EV play that I'm looking at over the next few days. So I will let you know if I do buy into that one. And if you made it all the way to the end, guys, make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Make sure you smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.